Hi, everybody. Dr. Nan here. And remember Jilly, she's here with me too. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to practice a kind of self suggestion, relaxation, acceptance exercise. And I'm going to lead you through it. And this is going to help us focus our attention in a way that will be very healing. So this will take just a couple of minutes. What you want to do is make sure that you have some quiet, a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. And what you're going to start by getting yourself really comfortable. If you see, I'm just sitting on the couch here. Behind me is this actually is my home office, my diplomas. This is where I used to see clients when we were seeing people in person. So we're going to start with setting an intention for this practice. And I think one of my favorite ways of sort of eliciting what's called the relaxation response is to give ourselves permission to be with what is and to be with ourselves in this moment. And also remind ourselves that we have all of the resources internally to create everybody and everything that we need externally, which is really kind of a way of connecting with we're not in this alone. We can ask for support, and also we can find within ourselves a tremendous amount of resilience and resourcefulness beneath and below the surface mind. And as a neuroscientist, as a psychologist, clinician, and anxiety sufferer who does pretty good most of the time in managing my anxiety enough where I can have a really good time being able to be with whatever it is. Here's the practice. So get comfortable and start by giving yourself permission to just kind of notice whatever's on your mind. And usually there's a lot going on there. So full permission to just notice the mindscape that your thoughts are forming and drifting across the surface mind. And then noticing that you have a body and your body is being supported by whatever you are sitting on. And that you have emotional weather. So emotional weather is simply what you're aware of in terms of your feelings in the moment. So if it's comfortable for you to kind of let your eyes either gaze downward or soften your gaze, as we say in yoga, or simply let your eyelids sort of float closed, you're just going to give yourself permission as you tune into the various channels, your mind, just noticing what's floating across the surface of the mind. And just noticing now whatever is happening in your body. And you might notice sensations from sitting or lying down, arising from the contact between your body and the supports beneath you. And you might notice sounds in the background. So thoughts in the mind, sounds in the background, perhaps my voice as a sound in background, sensations in your body, full permission to be exactly as you find yourself in this moment. So often relaxing isn't really relaxing so much as simply accepting what is. And as we accept what is so for us, we can loosen and soften around tension. So we don't want to try and struggle to make the mind quiet or the body to relax. We simply give the mind permission to be as it is in the background and harness the attention to, in the foreground, the breath, the sensations arising at your nostrils, perhaps as you inhale, and the sense of the releasing of the breath with the exhalation, letting go whatever will simply release. Full permission to be as you are right here and right now. And full permission for this moment to be as it is. So full permission is accepting but not resigning. So it doesn't mean we're giving up. We're just loosening and softening around what is so. And that lets us release whatever will naturally float away to the gentle pull of gravity. Certainly present every moment. And the exhalation is a great place to release. So when you're inhaling permission for yourself to be here in this moment, however you are. Full permission to simply be. Loosening and softening whatever will release, and harnessing attention to the breath, to the sensations in the body. And as we focus attention on the breath, what we can do is notice that there are these gentle pauses beneath and between the waves of breath. So one of the easiest things to notice is at the end of the exhalation, there's this gentle pause before the initiation of the inhalation. And by allowing ourselves to just notice that gentle pause, and perhaps extend it just a second or two before the next inhalation, we can learn to rest just a little bit more deeply between the pauses and around the waves of the breath. And likewise, there's a gentle pause, if you notice, at the very top of the breath, at the height of the inhalation, before the waves of the out-breath begin. And likewise, just by noticing those gentle pauses, we can find some stillness between and around the waves of breath and the waves of mind. So isn't it good to know that you have tremendous resources and capacity beneath and below the surface mind for the nervous system to balance, and the natural process of balancing and healing can initiate simply by making some space and time for practicing acceptance of what is so, acceptance of how we are in the moment, and letting us find the ground beneath us. So everything that is positive and adaptive, all of our resources and resilience can be better engaged when we start with where we are, which is right here. So by starting with what is here right now, that lets us listen into attuning what's on our minds, what's in our bodies, what's in our emotional weather, And we can get in touch with great resourcefulness and resilience. And we can think about our inner resources to create everything and everybody that we need to not just survive, but thrive with and through our connection with self and our connection with others. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I know I feel quite relaxed and calm. Jilly is already very happily asleep, but it's so cool. Like animals pick up on our emotional energy because it's not airy fairy. It's like we feel each other's nervous systems. We are wired for that through sight, sound, connection. So let's take advantage of this time to learn some tools that will help us get through this and actually flourish on the other side. So thank you, everybody. And come back. I'll have more very soon.